Alright guys, here we are to talk about episode 21, season 2 of the Twilight Zone.
What's up?
So this episode, like you kind of could, it was almost like a modern episode of The Simpsons, where it started in one direction, ended somewhere else, had the moral you want, and everyone was yellow.
It's hard to tell because this was not colorized or recorded in color, but everyone was obviously a disgusting shade of yellow, right? And you could tell it's always a giveaway to the number of fingers.
So like it starts off in like a car crash, and a man displays his telekinetic powers, and you're like, oh, interesting.
Before we move on too much, I just want to say, I don't know whether your earlier comments were meant to be flattering or like defamatory, but I love this episode.
Oh no, I liked it.
I don't even know if I'm okay with that, but I totally love this episode.
What I meant was, like, you start off and it's like, okay, it's a guy's got telekinesis, and immediately the story was really about a man's like how
being driven to the edge with his gambling addiction or whatever the fuck.
And it takes losing everything to realize what you really have is the love of a good woman. Like,
and then it turned out that Jimbo is force sensitive and he can just pick up the broom.
Yeah. No, it was pretty cool. You knew he didn't actually lose the power. You knew he saw like he's like, this guy's changing. He didn't even care about his girl. He can't blah 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 and just like let it go.
Well, you didn't know. It was just an option.
I knew. I knew literally the second he looked over and saw that girl. I'm like, well, he's gonna fake it now, but he didn't actually lose it. And that was 100% what happened. I liked that character. I thought he was cool.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
Mr. Dudley Do-Right of the world.
I thought you were going to hate that character because he has this power and is choosing not to use it and live like a normal, boring life or whatever. Because that is your style.
No.
This may have won you over.
I would not like that. Like, if I found out you all of a sudden had a superpower that could change our lives for the better, I would hate you.
I get headaches, man. I can't do it.
You get headaches. Oh, light things easy as hell.
Yeah.
You'd think he would have done something. He doesn't do anything. And like, if it hurts that bad, picking up brooms, that's just for us. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to have seen something a little bit more. Like, I love the the Stranger Things, a little bit of blood out of the nose, like something like showing you that things are straining or
things
doing
are breaking
something
down. Yeah. No, I mean, so whether he blew a fuse or not, it was still this idea. Like it's kind of about the other guy. It's kind of about his journey and all that stuff. I don't know. It was heartwarming. I liked it. I liked the idea of this dude having powers and kind of
moseying through life.
What really stuck out to me was like, oh, you big idiot, don't worry about this. I'm going to make some phone calls. We're going to be rich. And he goes, how? Like, as if he's never thought of how he could use this power for these very obvious things or whatever. And I'm like, that's beautiful.
The couple of things I don't like about the episode is I hate anything, and this happens so much, where they have to end it back at zero. So it's always like, oh no, I bet every last penny. There's no I saved or he didn't buy anything already. He lost everything. The only one that made out on this is the mobster and that cocktail waitress who we gave $1,000 bill.
Just hands people crazy money.
There, was that a thing that was in the 50s and 60s?
Woodrow Wilson is on that. No.
Well, I know there are large note bills that we don't have in circulation anymore. I don't know how common they were then, but he handed her one bill and said that's $1,000 or something. I was like, what?
I assumed it was it didn't look like 10 hundreds or whatever, right? So
no, it was one bill.
I have no idea. I literally have no idea. I have no idea.
But so
I won't even hazard a guess as to how money
aside from the issue of losing literally everything.
Well, no, let's say that, right? Is how that you're a gambling man, right?
Sure.
I'm not a gambling man, so I would just still have all that money no matter what happens, right? But
if you're not a gambling man, you would never gamble anyway, and you would just be picking up brooms.
If I somehow ended up in this scenario, right, at almost any point along the way, right? I would have been like, oh, my friend's having headaches. Maybe this is really hurting him. You know what? We do have enough money, right? But that was the point of this, was that this man is sick or whatever.
Yes, he doesn't care about his friends, his family.
Right. So I would love a darker movie adaptation of this where he's really getting fucked up. He's like, come on, just one more time, we got this, and he's
and he
trying
dies,
to get him up
and
there.
That's why he doesn't get the last one.
And everything fucking goes down.
You fucking did. We just lost everything. And he's John. John.
I don't feel so good. Feel hot. I'm sweating. Oh God! And then he has an aneurysm and dies. Okay, but you're a gambler, right? You're a sick man.
Yes.
You just said, it's always unrealistic when they would bet everything, double or nothing, go for the last thing.
Every show does that.
Would you do that though, or no? Okay.
Not at all.
And you would think
I would also never have a high stakes game in my hotel room where I alone roll dice. I can't imagine anybody getting in on that in the first place.
That's a whole other fucking thing.
When you show show up with like the mooks and the goon squad, why don't they just take the money and walk away?
No, I wouldn't feel safe there at all. And I wrote down, they don't eat. Random dice shit. Blew a fuse. Those are all things where it's like who fucking goes to a like hotel room to randomly roll dice and then argue and then make good on it whenever it ends or whatever the fuck, right?
No, that was very strange. I thought also the girl's reaction, his initial girl, was very strange. It was I guess we have to have an
I'm leaving tonight.
Episode.
Yeah.
She got outraged, like, you're sick.
Yeah.
At the moment, he really wasn't displaying anything that was so sick. He wasn't like he was gambling for one day. He was up $200,000.
Well, so she was like, "Quit while you're ahead," and he was like, "I'm gonna get more ahead," and she's like, "Oh my God, stop it," or whatever.
If she would have said something like, I don't know, buy the property we're renting for our business, or blah blah blah, or this and that, because his original thing was, I don't have the money to get married. Yeah. And he very quickly had enough money to get married to everyone. Because again, we're very janky on exactly how much money is worth in this world of like 60 years ago, but. You seemingly have $30 and you're like, I'm good to go for a weekend of fun. And this man had $200,000.
You can rent a car.
That's his whole life.
Basically, yeah. And so that was going to be my
boxes, large boxes of money.
No, like the boxes of money was weird, the gambling thing was weird. Like
open top boxes of money.
And having it be that they always win, and then he like announces, "We have a system," or whatever. I'm like, "Oh my God, no, this is not what you do at a casino."
No, everyone has a system.
You have to barely but
no, their system is very weird, where I shot call the exact number in roulette over and over again.
And fucking pointing at the guy next to you standing there not saying anything, making weird faces, who you can you win 0% of the time when he's not standing right next to you or something like that. I'm like, no, you're giving away too much information. Stop it. No, she got outraged kind of too quickly or whatever. And honestly, had they put in like the gangsters are walking out and one says to the other well, this went well. I guess his luck had to turn. Yeah, I mean, he got really lucky. We were gonna have to kill him and take all this money and then keep walking or whatever the fuck.
What I really would have liked. So my twist on this episode, what would have made it amazing, was if the three dudes behind him are all telekinetics
and changing at the
and
they don't eat.
And it just it waits till the very end. All right, this one's for all the marbles, and then you see his boy and he can't. He's like, I couldn't flip it, and they're like, we've got people too.
It felt like something was, I don't know,
like magnets.
What are you talking about? It was like magnets just pulling the dice around.
But that I think would have been a great.
I like that too.
Switch.
Totally. Yeah.
I would have enjoyed that quite a bit.
I want to somehow do both things though in the same long movie or whatever. So he could eventually die. But now it's a weird cyberpunk psychic warfare, Las Vegas, future Las Vegas, New Vegas, if you will. No, good times.
But it was a decent episode. I like an episode where
it's a great
money involved. I like the powers. I really did enjoy the episode. The acting was good. There were just little things that and I think the only real issue the episode had was it being 22 minutes long and being a standard Twilight Zone episode, which you can't 100%. Really fault it for, because that's what it is. But I think this expounded upon and made into an hour and a half movie could have been really dope.
It hit everything. Because when I say that I want a mind fuck, or I want a dark story of a man consumed by his lesser nature and paying the price, it can still have a happy ending. I just want that to be the theme and all that stuff. And so this was a perfect example, right? And it had the good performances. I thought even his fiance, soon to be wife, was really well cast, because she was attractive but not a bimbo, and she was believable in the role. And Jimbo too. It's really hard to believe a character would say, I had to give it up. You have superhuman powers, and he's like, I didn't think it was anything special. To sell that, I think is really good. And the other guy to be oh, come on, just one more time, come on, we got this all. And that guy, very different characters, very, everyone did really well. Even the gangster, even the bit part people. Really good.
We've caught a lot of I don't want to say shit in the comments recently about people when I say certain episodes are bad or versus certain episodes are good. Oh. And my biggest thing is that good episodes of Twilight Zone are so outshine the normal episodes that normal episodes are bad. So this is a perfect example. If we took the two gambling episodes we've had in the last 2 seasons, so if this episode here, which is great, and then you compare that to the one where the guy is addicted to the slot machine that's somehow alive and making him kill himself at the end, or pushing him, I forget exactly how it ended. like that episode by comparison is dirty shit, and this episode is amazing.
I would never use such strong language to hurt the people's feelings.
I'm just saying, if you compare the two, like apples to apples in this exact scenario, where you're not doing too much of a stretch. It's the same genre of episode. This is a 10, and that episode is a 0.
No, and
so that's my point exactly.
Well, and it's like because like we have those different pillars of Twilight Zone, right? And there's like the one area where it's like, and then he goes back to Lincoln and tries to help for some reason. Like there's always this for some reason. Like then the washing machine is alive for some reason, or like his wife hates him for some reason, or some weird like. But like this episode actually like was well written enough to contain itself within its thing and everything, right? Like it was even. They even worked in this like believable way of like, why today, why now would he like suddenly tell people I have this power, right? Like everything was accounted for.
No, it worked out good.
I don't have any gaps.
There was no
like
weird hanging things where it's like, okay, I understand the TVs can turn themselves on, but how does the shaver just fly?
No, okay, exactly, right? Where you're just like, we're in like Final Destination. I'm like, I love accidents, like 1 in a million. How how is that gonna fall just right?
But then when she gets choked to death by the shower thing, you're like
the shower cord wraps itself around her neck and like hangs her. I'm like, wait, but that like
if you can just do whatever you want, why does it even revolve around coincidences?
Yeah, if it can violate the laws of physics, why is it this weird like 1 in a million somehow catching up with you? You beat the odds, and then now the odds are going to beat you, and then or just whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
So it's that like whatever the fuck thing that I think triggers us to be like, I don't know, this is a good idea, but then it kept getting crazier. Did he drown? Was the car like holding him down? Why didn't he just swim to the other end or just tread water in the middle and be like, you're a car? I'm fine, right? And just that stuff, like certain things. So like I can't at the end go, oh, this really made me think. It was like, no, this really like annoyed me or something. But
this episode didn't have anything that it really annoyed me.
This was like a Stephen King short story. It was very like nice, right? It hit all these good points. The
bits that bothered me in this are human nature things where I'm like, no, a person could react that way. Yeah. So I'm like, whatever. But no, I liked this episode. I thought it was good. I would see more like it. I would love to do a thing where they pick up on characters. They did this once before with the newer Twilight Zone picked up from where
they did like a part 2 of like a much earlier episode. Ooh,
so there's the episode of Wish Him Into the Cornfield, which we haven't seen yet.
We have not gone to that.
But they picked up on that with that guy had a daughter and had the same power in the colored version of the Twilight Zone, and I think the same people played the
African-American
characters.
version.
What?
I'm just. No, do you mean...
Is that what you call the Forrest Whitaker version? You sick racist.
Version? That's a funny coincidence, because it's the in-color
I know, that's why
version.
I went there.
I like that.
But no. So I would like to see this picked up later.
Do you mean that the boy had a daughter?
The guy who could wish people in the cornfield has a daughter who can also wish people into the cornfield.
That's weird.
So everyone has to listen to her now, and he gets to
Does he still have the power?
He does, but she's Daddy's little girl, and he's a little scared of her.
Okay, I like that.
I think ultimately he lays down the law, but I can't recall exactly.
I'm shocked that he went on to have like a normal life and have kids.
Well, I'm sure he forced someone to do something. I don't remember if they even showed the wife. It's been years and years. I don't remember.
So that's almost Black Mirror-ish and like being terrifying or whatever, layers of like gross terror.
But this is an episode I would like to pick up later. And like see it again, like, oh, this happened. Oh, we gotta do blah blah.
Because like this is almost like an X-Men level or like a weird comic-y level, right? Where now this guy's chilling, right? He's kind of on the old side, but he's got another 10, 20 years of life in him. Some other shit could happen. He could have to save someone. Something could happen or whatever. Maybe he'll start to use it for some reason. The headaches will get worse. There's all these plot points.
Secondary mutations.
His like friends know, but like his one friend knows, but thinks he can't do it, right? He'll feel like betrayed, but then there'll be a thing, right? Who knows? There's all these fucking. There's all these things.
And as I think of it real quick, they live in the back of the restaurant, right? Like there were 2 beds back there.
Right.
It's a different time in 1960s.
What do you mean that they were?
Now he's going to get married, and he's going to be in his little bed next to his buddy in the back of their restaurant.
Just banging it out right there.
That's what it
was a different time. We're good friends.
Time.
Very good friends.
Yeah, so that's this episode of Twilight Zone, guys. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.